We don't come again, no. We don't come again, no. Brother Select,
Are you?
Mr. Select, are you? Oh, Bobby. You know that song, eh? Now when we dey Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Now we dey sing that he don't tell. Oh, may so rest in peace, Mr. Ikimoya. Now be our oga patapata for Boy Scout that time. Those people who grow for Jota, they go know what they talk about. Mr. Ikimoya, now they come our house, come carry us one by one. They go Boy Scout camp. You understand? So I enjoy Boy Scouts. They still there at also.
They still there. Boy Scouts still there. I for join that time. They say I no qualify. They say I'm too short.
But if I join C Scout now, because if Boy Scout not take it, there is C Scout. We get C Scout. We get Girls Guide. We get brownies.
Which one is the best for joy?
C Scout.
Because that dwarf they.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, blessed people of Nigeria. This now the Portmanteau today. That program where they tell us they get in mind to chook mouth for all the matters where other programs not they fit chook mouth put. And now me, Osagiato, that fine, proud Benin boy, one of like talk. I just sit down here, so as now they see I don't sit there here alone. I sit there without my honorable fellow.
Oh yes, now your boy Bamidele Okbayemi Bello, where everybody they call MCBOB. And a day, yeah, Tanda Sidon, we're going to bring out the topic as the odd for inside the Portmanteau today.
You know, somebody online went me with when they response to our last episode. Yeah. The person called, they asked me, say, the way where this Bob they call Portmanteau, where he come from, self? I say, in Ile-Ife, man. And for Ile-Ife, they call Portmanteau.
Unfortunately, now from Mondomi I come from.
No wonder. Now there this thing happen now. Ondo something happen for Ondo recently. Alase enter problem. Alase enter problem. One video come out online.
Okay.
For party. After they serve. Alase say meat don't finish.
That's what they do.
Fish don't finish. Even pomo not dey. Nothing day.
Egg say finish.
Every egg finish. Nothing day. Now only rice.
Imagine.
Now remain. Amola day, but no meat.
They say Shelly manage.
Shelly Baba manage. I know say na MC they always fall victim of that thing.
No, that's not true.
MC you don't happen to miss. You know, I know they chop for events.
Yes,
actually, but sometimes you go just hungry. Me say make a chop. You understand? That time if I can't go meet, they say food. They'll say, MC, Oti Jeun, MC, you never chop. Okay, wait, let me go arrange food for you. By the time they go after 30 minutes, they'll come and say, MC, they say rice there, but meat not there. Can you manage it? I say, God forbid bad thing for me. You know, so that kind of thing can happen for this party. But after the party last, and they can go discover where Allah say load meat. Oh boy.
Every day for the thief.
One day.
For the owner of the party.
They call discover where Allah say load meat. Well, now the people who do the party, now discover the thief. You see where they lament, say, and people were angry at the party that they not see meat chop. One even say, they even say fish not there at all. Meanwhile, you see what they take prepare fish.
I'm filming it. Film this one. Everything. Film it. The catcher was going to take it away. We did not have food. Yes! We did not have food to eat at the party.
There's no meat.
Only ẹran díẹ̀ wà nílé àjẹmáwá gbé sí ẹ̀wà ọjà ni wọ́n ní wọ́n ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀rọ sáfù wọ́n ọ̀sán àbẹ̀jà yẹn. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí ẹ ṣiṣi kó sí. Ẹ jọ yẹ má jẹ́ kí ẹ ṣe fà.
This one out there, and see, this is what you cater for. Today, ẹsẹ̀ màálù lélẹ̀ yìí. Ẹ̀rí nǹkan ó sún mi.
Bóyá ló bá díẹ̀ síbẹ̀ yìí. Kọ́kọ́rọ́ tó sọ.
Kíkí yẹn ni ọ.
Àwọn náà ṣe ìdíje lọ́fẹ́ kó lọ.
Ìgbà kan sábà wọn kò fẹ́ràn.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ lórí fíìmù.
Bàbá ló gbá kí ẹ dà lọ́wọ́. Bàbá ló gbá kí ẹ dà lọ́wọ́.
Start it, show it well, we'll put it on Instagram.
That when I see that video, I say this is pure wickedness.
I tell you, it don't happen to me before, bros. It don't happen to me. You get one event where we host, you grab, and I was very active. So I no bother disturb myself on top meat or something.
Or anything.
Everything go join when we finish. But I just notice say when party never reach anywhere, they talk say meat don't finish. I say for wait, how many cows?
Imagine.
Oh boy, everybody when they come after that time, people go dey vex say why now meat no dey, okay, no problem, just give me drink omo. But when you find out, you go discover say they don't load those meat. They don't load meat somewhere.
As in recently,
don't load meat
I
somewhere.
go MC one event, so I decide, okay, let me chop. You understand? So when I go alone, when the person go, he come back, he come tell me say, MC, they say meat not deal, now only rice remain. I can't say for what. Now I can't go meet the people where they serve.
Yeah.
Say now me be the MC, and I want chop. They say MC, hold on. My guy, they open cooler, meat come out for me because I be MC. Yeah, Bobby, that is part of what we are going to be discussing today. Our viewers, make we not take too much of that. I don't expect we'll go take our coffee, but we just say make we quickly throw this gist before we go take our coffee. Today's show, they very, very loaded. Me and Bob will come back. We'll call the discuss preferential treatment. Just like what I tell you just now, preferential treatment, how you like to be given preferential treatment or like preferential treatment, which are you dey look people where they give people preferential treatment. We'll come discuss that one later on for the show. And also we get our very special guest inside the studio here today. Want to discuss something that concerns building and construction. This incessant collapse of buildings here and there, not only in Lagos State, but because we dey Lagos, that's why be saying na Lagos State to 9 loud pass. You understand me now? But it dey happen for other places too. How can we forestall it? What is the reason why building go just carry collapse? Wetin dey cause am where building go collapse? If now days now we go say na winch. But today now we no go fit say na winch. So we have an expert in the house who is going to be discussing all this with us. Mona no go anywhere. Mo just rush collect our cup of coffee. When we come back, our guest go join us inside the studio. Mona no go anywhere. We dey come back now.
So.
All right, welcome back, our viewers. This is the show we always tell you has the mind to put mouth for all the matters where other programs not they fit put mouth, and that is why we call it the Portmanteau today. Before we enter the next matter, I want to first of all say a very big thank you to all of now one. I don't subscribe, give our YouTube channel with the see in our hand, and we want to thank all of now one that they leave in our comments too after una watch the show on YouTube. But if you never subscribe, our YouTube address just there under the screen right now. They scroll, make YouTube search us out on top YouTube, make you subscribe, press the notification button, and leave a comment there so that YouTube will join this happy family where they always they watch the Portmanteau today. Last time, make it for not lost and make it for not cause quarrel. We get our very honorable guest in the building. She's a qualified quantity surveyor, and she is a client manager, client service manager. This ideal na one company where they into proper facility management. They manage facility. Wetin I mean by that, their representative where they inside the studio go help us expatiate on that. Like I tell you now before, there be property facility managers. I get quantity surveyor Esther Oyebiyi in the building. Am I right by calling you quantity surveyor Esther Oyebiyi?
Hey, it almost sounds somehow QS. Most of the time it's QS.
Okay, QS Esther Oyebiyi.
Yes, the quantity surveyor sounds like one big.
No, you now big professional. You don't want her to be big.
Let's stay humble.
Yes. QS. All right. QS Esther Oyebiyi, you are welcome to the Portmanteau today.
Thank you.
Zomuzo, what we really want to talk about today now this ideal. You understand? I know you are into facility management, and me for one, I to tell where I can't understand. Say there are people who are into such, things that people you can call to come and do facility, to manage your facilities for you. So many people like me too, I sure say they don't know. So now you go come help us. You get what I try to talk now. Now you go come help us. Let us know waiting facility management really mean.
Okay. Firstly, thank you for having me on the show. It's great to be here. Okay, like you said, my name is Esther from representing This Ideal Concepts Limited. We're into property and facility management, and the essence of it is that the world is moving beyond the traditional construction thing, whereby people build houses for themselves. People build house. A man builds house. This is my house. I live in the same house with my tenant. And, we have several property owners that are not even within the country. We have people who have several houses in Nigeria and they are abroad. People who have not been to Nigeria in the past 10 years and they have properties here. So, and that's where we come to play. Not just for property owners outside Nigeria, even people within Nigeria. There are several property owners who don't want to have interface with their tenants.
Okay.
And for business owners, commercial buildings, buildings that are constructed for business purpose, it would be quite a huge burden for them trying to maintain the facility. Maintaining the facility is not just about the external condition. Look at for all facilities that we manage, we have a mental picture of what they look like. We can tell you at every time, okay, this house, there are 5 bulbs in this house.
Okay.
There are 2 taps in this house.
Okay.
These are the things that are in this house, and they are in good. We can tell you the conditions that they are in. So we have business owners. They can have time to concentrate on their core when they outsource the facility management responsibility. So what we do for residential, everything that has to do with tenancy, from getting tenants to verification of tenants, profiling of tenants, collection of rent, eviction of tenants, we handle it on behalf of the client. So the client does not necessarily have to. So the client is assured that by so time I am getting my money. So how we go about it does not really concern the client. And we get clients to pay. So the client is assured that yes, and as every time we keep the property in valuable condition at all time, to make sure that at every time it matches up, the property matches up with the current market value. So if it is painting that is supposed to be done, at every time we go for periodic assessments to know, and even before, at the beginning of every year, we have a projection. Okay, this house, I think it's been long we did this kind of maintenance to this house. This year, there's every tendency that this kind of thing would come up. We might need to. So we have a budget for the client. So the client has a mental picture of, okay, this is what my financial responsibility to this house is.
Yes.
So when we are carrying out repairs, we give advice to the client. We say, okay, this house, probably the value is going down because of so things. Let's put it in the place. This kind of apartment, this kind of vicinity, people, probably a client that has much of 2-bedroom flats, and we tell the client, 2-bedroom flats don't really move in this area. People go for mini flats. Can we convert? Can we do this? So we give advice to clients, and so those are part of what we do. Then we're into housekeeping, cleaning. We have people that we go to their routine cleaning. We have daily, weekly, monthly, general cleaning. We have staff, our operatives, they go to our locations and we carry out cleaning, and you can be assured professional touch. We provide janitorial services, pest control, we keep landscaping, and several others.
Wow. This ideal. When you were talking, something caught my attention, about the services you render. Actually, you represent a landlord. Let's just put it in a layman's language, because when you are saying client, many people don't understand the kind of client. Your client is Zomzo, your landlord. That is the landlord of the property. That is your client. And now the tenants are the people you are dealing with on behalf of the landlord. Zomzo, like in a layman's language, there are some people that has been doing this or that used to do this too, that we call them caretaker. Are we permitted to call you people to caretakers?
No, we are far different
From caretaker, because I understand that caretaker, their own is just to come at the end of month, collect rent, collect their, is it one tenant rent, which is their own commission, and then they go. Now, how do you understand, like the properties or the facilities you manage, you understand, how do you get to make your clients have that confidence in you into committing their property into your hands?
Okay, at the moment we have several properties that we manage, and most of them are from referrals from what we do.
Okay.
And what, like I said earlier, what we do is very, very different from
caretakers.
We have professionals that can look at the building and tell you that, okay, before the end of this year, due to the environment and the way market is, they can tell that, okay, the property of this building would depreciate if we do not do this.
Okay.
There are even times that we advise sales
of a
that
property.
this property has really, really gone up, and if you don't seize this opportunity to just sell it now, it might not happen in.
And your clients will accept it like that, because some people will say, anyone want to me.
Because we are professionals. Those are part of the advice.
Okay,
that we
give.
give.
And that is what makes you different from the caretaker.
Yes.
You
okay,
know?
there's another property here that can move, that we feel that, yes, it would retain its value. And so those are the kind of advices that
you give your
to
clients.
that makes us distinct.
As facility managers, at what point do you come into the picture of a property? Is it before construction, during construction, or after construction?
Facility management company can come to play at any point in construction. Just like I said, that part of what we do is tenancy. And if a facility, for example, a residential apartment that is still under construction, you can outsource the facility part, so that when tenants, we've seen cases whereby even before the house is completed,
people have started paying. I understand you. I get you.
It's not all the time that they have to wait for the facility to be completed before we have. So a facility manager, even before you want to build, and you can say, for instance, a facility company that is not into construction, okay, I want to outsource the management of this facility, and so you can have that. They can start giving their advice, so they can come to play at any point in time.
Thank you, Madam Esther. Honestly, I'm enjoying this chat with you. All right, we want to quickly deviate a bit. Recently, the most recent one was the Ikoyi building collapse. You understand, which caused a lot of damages, both in human, in other things. You understand, most especially human damages. And a lot of people died in that tower that collapsed in Ikoyi.
Yes.
Now, most of the time, when you get to a site, you see this person will say, I'm an engineer. That will say, I'm an engineer. This one will say, I'm an engineer. You understand? Now, I just want you to take us through how many people, you understand, the professionals, how many of them are actually supposed to be on site. What I'm trying to say is that, can you just take us through the different levels of professionals that are supposed to work on a building? You get what I'm saying now? And then, which one of them is saddled with the responsibility of making sure that this project or this structure is well seated?
The Nigeria currently, in fact, everyone that wears an helmet is referred to as an engineer. And everyone calls themselves building consultants, building contractor. And it's really, really, really having its own effect on the building industry. And there are several stakeholders in the built environment, and every one of them have their own uniqueness There are things that an architect can do that it is only that architect that can do it.
That is what I want you to take us through quickly, briefly, because we are running out of time.
Okay.
I know we have a quantity surveyor.
Yes.
We have architect, we have builder, we have structural engineer, we have electrical engineer.
Yeah.
We have all these engineers. So please just give us a rundown of them and their duties or the role they play in construction.
Yes. The building stakeholders involves the client, the architect, the land surveyor, the structural engineer, the quantity surveyor, the electrical engineer, the mechanical engineers, the
Mechanical engineer for building.
Those that run the mechanical part involves the water.
Okay.
It's not just residential. Forth. There's some parts of it that the mechanicals have to, the ACs and the like. So the client is the financier of the owner there. Then the land surveyor goes to the site, knows the boundary, marks the boundary. There are times that they give advice too. Okay, because of the orientation of this land, the sun comes in from this place. It's not advisable to place your window here. It's not advisable. So they give their own advice too. Then the architect receives the client's brief and gives the drawings, and then they have the structural engineer. They prepare the structural details, the structural ranging from the foundation to every structural element, the column, the beams and the likes. Basic structural. Then the QS is the cost expert, the ones that prepares the budget.
That's the quantity surveyor now.
That's the quantity surveyor, the estimates that would run through and ensure that that's money, that budget, that sum is held on to and kept to the end. Then we have the urban and regional. They have a way in which they are also involved too, because every location, every area has the government has marked them in the nearest future of what that area would look like. Then we have the estate surveyor too. They can come into play depending on the project, the value of at the completion. What's the value of this project and time. Then we have the contractors, the subcontractors that come in directly or indirectly, maybe through supplies and the like. Then the other engineer, the electrical and the mechanical engineers like that.
Wow. So on site is only the structural engineer that will be present on site, as in after the architect has done his drawing, collects his pay, that's the end?
No. The way it works, when probably the land surveyor has done, this land is actually complete and this is the size of the land, and the architect receives his brief, he does a sketch, and the structural engineer, it is ideally they're supposed to have a soil investigation. But the architect is supposed to actually go to the site and see what the site looks like. Because clients these days, they don't mind building a mansion and have plots of land.
Manage it.
They don't mind. And the structural engineer too is supposed to go and from the soil investigation know the nature of that place. To know what works, what kind of foundation would fit this the material, what kind of would actually fit this place, and if it is suitable for the kind of structure that the client has in mind. So they do it and they work hand in hand with the architect, and they come to a conclusion with the client. Then move to the QS. Some clients don't mind building a mansion with a budget of 5 million naira. It's possible. They just want And that's one of the reasons why this the rate of building collapse is so high. It leads to, by the time they want to just please the clients, because the clients always believe even Baba Muniru can do this thing.
Yes.
So they want to actually improvise, and they begin to use substandard materials. They begin to try to cut corners. And maneuver things, and so the quantity surveyor works on the cost. This amount, Oga, you know, feel
you not go carry this house.
And if there are basic elements that can be changed, that you cannot have a remote control door with this budget. You cannot have this kind of WC with this budget, and they begin to
adjust.
Then at the end of the time, when they come to a conclusion, the architect prepares the working drawing, a detailed drawing that will be used on site, then gives to the builder, the contractor. That is what they work with. But the work of the architect does not actually end there. Ideally, an architect is supposed to have a representative on the site to ensure that they are following their specifications. Drawing. And that leads me to another reason why I'm trying to match the two. That's another cause of this building collapse, where there is no proper monitoring from the stakeholders. So the contractor has everything. Nobody is back checking. He has that. So even if he's not following specifications, he's not following the architect specification, he's not following the structural engineer specification, there's nobody to monitor. There is nobody to back check. Even the government agency, where they must have because you are supposed to get a building permit.
Yes, I know.
From Lagos State Building Control Agency, Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency, and some other agencies. You're supposed to get permits. The soil investigation, the drawings, and all are supposed to be submitted. So they are supposed to also come and control, check their monitoring. But if nobody is doing the proper monitoring, the contractor can cut corners, and it's because it's not accountable to anybody. So that's another thing. Then another cause is the client. The client wants to, probably as the building is going on, comes up with some illegal alterations. Wants to, the building is coming, by the time you get to the second floor, can we add one more floor? I want a penthouse. I want somewhere that in the evening,
which is not included in the drawing.
And they begin to, let's do it like this. And it stands maybe for a while. And it begins to tell on the structural elements of the building. It might not fall that year. It might not fall in the next 5 years. But one day, it will have its own effect. So the client too wants to add one element. Can we divide this room like this? And there are just some alterations that you cannot do, because they would have effect on the structural elements. And anything that has effect on the structural elements is so dangerous.
Wow, thank you so much. I wish that we continue this conversation, but our producers are telling us that we are running out of time. We definitely want to have you back so that we can really talk about this thing. Now the one final question before we round up this segment. In case of a building collapse like this, who is the primary person or people that should be held responsible for a case of a building collapse like this?
In the case of a building collapse, I think the government should be. I think the government should, because there are several policies that come out every day, but there is no proper enforcement. There is no proper enforcement. In several countries, there are just, at every point, before you move to a certain stage of construction, you must get a yes approval from the agency. So even if as a client you are cutting corners, you are sure that at the end of the day there is always somebody that would be able to fish you out. So if there can be a proper enforcement mechanism that will be put in place, you go to sites today, you see people not wearing their protective gears, and you see people doing things anyhow. So I think the government should just please work more on getting policies. There are enough policies. We don't even have to make new ones. There are enough policies. We just need a proper enforcement mechanism
to implement those policies. Thank you so very much, Esther. Oyebiyi from This Ideal. So This Ideal on social media, contact, how do we reach you? Like, I have somebody who wants to hand over their facilities to you. Say, okay, we want This Ideal to come and begin to help us manage our facilities. How did they get to you?
Okay, you can reach us via mail.
Okay.
At thisidealfacility@yahoo.com. You can reach us on Instagram at thisideal_. You can reach us on Facebook at thisideal. You can also reach us on LinkedIn at thisideal.
Okay, This Ideal. Everything is This Ideal. It's only Instagram that is This Ideal _. All right, thank you, Esther Oyebiyi. Viewers, if you have any contribution to make to this topic, you can reach us on all our social media platforms. You can leave your comment below this video. Just leave your comment, or if you have any question you want to direct to Esther Oyebiyi of This Ideal, their social media handle will be on your screen. So just follow them. As you say, send them mail, then go respond to you. Make una not go anywhere. We'll take this short break. When we come back, me and MC Bob go come enter the next matter. We enter inside the portmanteau today. One more time, Madam Esther Oyebiyi, we say thank you for coming. I hope when we call again, you will definitely come back.
Sure.